Racial-based hypocrisy in the Department of Justice. False labeling and victimization of certain free-minded minority citizens.
Ms. Bass for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. According to an August 17th FBI intelligence assessment titled "Black Identity Extremists Likely Motivated to Target Law Enforcement Officers," quote, "It is very likely that black identity extremist perceptions of police brutality against African Americans spurred an increase in retaliatory violence." So I've tried to get to the bottom of where this report came from, who did it, what its status is. I've asked Attorney General Sessions, I've asked Director Wray, and so now I want to ask you. Did you order the FBI to conduct this assessment?
Sorry, what was the date?
August 2017. August of this year.
No, I did not.
Do you know who authored the report? Are you familiar with the report?
Not familiar with the report. I'm familiar with the general issue.
About the general issue,
yes.
In particular, when the FBI began tracking black identity extremism?
I think it's important for me to explain, Congresswoman, that the FBI does not make a determination with regard to domestic groups to investigate them based upon their First Amendment views or their affiliation. It bases its decisions on evidence of a propensity to violence. So with regard to members of any ideology, domestically, the FBI would only be investigating if there were some indication.
Do you believe that there's a political movement in the country called black identity extremism?
I don't believe the FBI intends that to encompass a particular political movement. What they do is they try to categorize different threats that they identify.
So you said investigate, but before you do an investigation, there's surveillance, correct?
Generally, no. There may need to be a determination first that there was a basis for an investigation, typically before any surveillance.
So how does that determination take place, and where has it taken place?
If you want details, I need to get back to you, but the FBI does have very strict guidelines. As you know, several decades ago, there was quite a bit of controversy about this issue, and the FBI has very detailed guidelines for when they initiate investigations, and I'm not aware of any departure from those guidelines.
So one thing that, and I am aware of the FBI's history from many years ago, COINTELPRO, and many people are looking at this document, Black Identity Extremism, as COINTELPRO 2. One of the concerns that has been raised, and that I raised with Attorney General Sessions and Director Wray, is that this document, for whatever reason, was mass distributed to law enforcement offices around the country. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not.
So when we talked to Director Wray, it wasn't clear how this term was even developed. In other words, what evidence was it based on to even come up?